Warning. The following program contains strong language and subject matter which may be offensive to some viewers and/or inappropriate for children. The content within this program is intended for mature audiences only.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. It is Wednesday, October 26th, 2022. It is time for yet again Inside the Drag Closet. Welcome, everybody. How are you all today? It's so nice to have you with us. It has been a beautiful, cool fall day today, and I'm really actually getting into the weather. I'm not usually a fall person, but I think I'm embracing it this year because there's so many other things I've been embracing, and I'm just going with it. You know what I mean? I am your hostess tonight, Amethyst Diamond. I am the newly crowned Miss Gay America 2022. What's going on, Facebook world? Nice to have you with us. You know, I decided tonight to be a little bit of a purple people eater. You know, I am Amethyst after all. So, what do you want to do tonight, everybody? It's nice to have you. Oh, look, my friend Daniel Jackson is here. Vicky Marie Thompson is here. Hello, friends. Reed Fry. Hello, my beautiful baby. Orion Angel. I see you. Oh, and my loving mother, Tammy Ruby. Hello, hello. I love that my mother watches the show. Isn't this great? My friend Jess. Hi there, gorgeous. It's nice to see you as well. Robin, my love, how are you? I actually had one of my ciders that you gave me just yesterday. It was delicious. It was the pumpkin one, and thank you so very much. Slay, says Lisa. Hey, baby. Thank you so much for having lunch with us the other day. It was so much fun getting to know you a little bit more and hearing about all your bunny rabbits. They were so cute. Orion says, don't forget to share. That's right, everybody. For those of you tuned in, do not forget to share this video because sharing is caring. Share the love, share the live. Daniel Jackson, Amethyst Diamond, A Vision in Lavender. Honey, you know, just take it in. Take it in. We have an hour and a half. I'll be here all night. Just take it in. Take it in. Love your jewelry, boo. I bet you do, honey. Marcy. Oh, I love it. Let's get into a little bit of who, what, where. We can tell you just why Marcy loves my jewelry. So let's start with the top again. I am the newly crowned Miss Gay America 2022, and I am just having the time of my life with the title. It has been more than a blessing to take the reins, so to speak, and I am very looking forward to sharing that with everybody. This hair is made by one of my Maryland sisters, the lovely Nicole James. My makeup tonight is Morphe and MAC as well. My little frock here I got from Fashion Nova, just a nice little sequin crop top. My jewelry tonight is made by Bling 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 UK, sponsored by the lovely Marcy and Carrie, if you know them. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. And what else am I missing? Oh, I'm not wearing Thelma and Louise tonight. These are actually homegrown. This is a little bit of Taco Bell, and this is a little bit of Burger King, and both of them are just a little too much. So where can you find me? I live in South Central Pennsylvania. I am all over the tri-state area, and now quad state area. That's fun to say. 4 states I'm in now, as I did Virginia last weekend for the first time with my other sister, Chastity Vane, as well. So you can find me on Facebook under Amethyst Diamond. You can find me on Instagram under Amethyst_Diamond1. And you can find me at the drive-thru at Hardee's at the intersection of George and Market at about midnight. So what about my co-host? Do you want to see my co-host tonight? I'm missing somebody. I don't feel right without my other half. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, may I introduce to you the one and only Jade DeVere?
Ta-da!
Oh, hell no. What?
There she is. You can look at her there.
There she is. What in the world?
Yes.
What is happening?
Everybody, I'm so sorry. I had a bit of a crisis happen at work today. Everything is fine. Everyone is fine. But I ended up having to stay at work late, and you get me tonight.
Yeah.
Didn't have time to throw a face on. Literally got home, grabbed the fastest shower I ever could because I was sweaty and disgusting, threw some food in my face, and here I am.
You took a bird bath. That's what you call a bird bath, honey.
I literally did. Like, I hopped in the shower. I was like, I cannot be on screen looking like this. So it was a crazy day.
You're gorgeous.
Thank you so much. Well, it looks like we got a lot of people watching this evening, which is a lot of fun. Some new names that I don't recognize, so I'm very excited that we have some new names here. One name that we are all familiar with, because she just messaged me, the incredible Araya Sparks.
I am here because of you, ma'am, and you know why, and I love you and thank you. So.
I liked Orion's comment. It's a boy. Well, it happens. Hi, Gay.
Hi, Gay.
Hi, Gay.
I love it.
Speaking of Gay, and I should have prepped a picture earlier. I don't know what is going on in the universe, but we lost a gay icon this week. The incredible, funny, boisterous Leslie Jordan sadly passed this week, which is just devastating. Was driving and had some medical issue and crashed into a building.
Wow. I didn't know the details of that. Wow.
Yeah. Just you never know. It's just
right. You never know. So stay humble, kids, and stay positive, and always be the light in the world, no matter what, because you never know when ours get turned off. So the best thing you can do to have your light continue is to spark a light in somebody else. So, yeah.
Very true. Super true.
Yep. I'm looking at some of the names that we have popping in here. We have Miss Gay America 1986. Jill St. Clair is watching currently. Hello, ma'am. Hello. Thank you for your love and your light, and for sharing some of your pictures. Some of the pictures back from when she was being crowned Miss Gay Maryland America, like in the mid '80s, to see Champagne Douglas and all of them back in the light of their life, you know what I mean, winning this title. It's so cool. So Jill, thank you so much for sharing that with me. It means the absolute world. Some of our other Maryland family I see is here as well. Hi, Rhea, Jill, Chase Anthony. Hello. So yes, thank you all for tuning in. Again, if you would please share the live video, get us out there. We've been doing this for 2.5 years now. I've had the pleasure of being on for 2 years. Actually, it's my anniversary was October.
You're right.
My 2-year anniversary on the show is now, actually, the 18th. Wow. I didn't even realize that. Yeah.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. So yeah, we've been doing this for 2.5 years. We have over 10,000 followers. We've been all over the United States. I don't know. So we're just preaching the good word, and it's important for us to do all that together. So yeah, exactly. Share the love and share the live. Make it happen.
And a huge thank you to our Patreons who have stuck by us through thick and thin. Of course, Lori, Orion, Vicky, Robin, Daniel, Chanel, Estee, Jeremy, Corey, Jess, and Josh. We absolutely adore you. If you would like to be one of our Patreons, just go over to patreon.com/InsideTheDragCloset. We throw content up there when the two of us are smart enough to remember to film content. We're pretty.
God, you look good tonight. You look so good.
You look amazing. Gosh. Yeah. Look at you though. Look at you tonight though.
Just a sliver of a nose. That's all.
Didn't want to get crazy with too much nose.
I told the doctor I just wanted a slice, honey, just a slice.
Well, and that's exactly what he gave you.
Thank God.
But
Yeah.
I think it's time we chat with our main guest this evening. And since she is your guest, I would like to give the honor of introducing our guest to you.
You were so nice to me. You know that.
I know, and it's because you practiced.
It is. It is. And thank you for that. Everyone watching, it is my pleasure to bring to light our guest this evening. She is the reigning Miss Gay Western Maryland 2022, but she's also the first alternate to Miss Gay Maryland America. And her and I are on our way to Little Rock, Arkansas in January to compete for the big bucket of Miss Gay America 2022. Please welcome the one and only Miss DEZI Minaj.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah.
And
Thanks for joining us tonight, baby.
thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure. I must say, when you messaged me, I was like, oh, Miss Marilyn wants me on her feed. But
Honey,
we
are we.
Here, so absolutely.
We are we.
Absolutely. We said that from day one.
Yep, you told me that at Glamour Girl.
Yep.
Uh-huh. You said, we're going. And I said,
We're
okay. Let me figure this out real quick. I'll let you know.
Right.
And here we go, baby. And I couldn't be happier. So
Yeah,
thank
absolutely.
you. Yeah.
Well, let's let our audience get to know you a little bit better with a little bit of who, what, where about you.
Absolutely. So, who I am. So my name is DEZI Minaj. That's D-E-Z-I, to not be confused with an S. What am I wearing tonight? I got some fabulous jewelry from none other than Miss Lolly Cox, which is my good Judy, who always keeps me shining and sparkling, and I appreciate her for that. My good fiery red hair tonight is none other than Nicole James, who keeps our hats looking great for us and make sure that we look good when we step on stage. And then my frock is just a little sequin sparkle dress that I picked up at some shop, and I don't even remember where I got it from, but it's lovely and I love to wear it. Where can you find me? So actually, I live in West Virginia, but my persona that you see here tonight is actually from Western Maryland. So you can find me in the Western Maryland area at my main home, which is the Lodge out in Boonesboro, Maryland. And you can find me as much like Amethyst. I'm a quad state kind of girl. So I've performed over Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, and even in Pennsylvania. I've been in drag for about 15 years now, and I was so happy to return to Miss Maryland after 5 years, and actually very happy to be going to Miss America with Amethyst. So we're going to show them exactly what Maryland is all about.
Absolutely. I can't wait. It's a lot of work, and you know, it's going to take a lot of dedication, but we're going to do it. So we have a 37-year legacy to make proud. Correct. And we will hear about it.
We sure will. Trust and believe. Our queens that came before us will let us know, good and bad.
And I love that. And I love that so much. I love that so much because you know what? That just makes us better. Yeah. You know what I mean? So bring it, ladies. Bring it on.
Maryland's coming in hot, girl.
We're coming in hot, and we are ready. We are hot and ready like Little Caesars, baby. It's not $5. It's a lot more than $5, but we hot and ready, okay? So let's do it. Let's do the damn thing. Yes, indeed.
That's amazing. So we did get a question already. Sure. And it is where did it go? Oh, I figured out a new thing with StreamYard, and now I promptly forgot how it worked.
What did you do?
Very important question. How old is the Gay America Pageant System?
Yep, 50 years. We celebrated 50 years this year in Little Rock, Arkansas. And of course, Dextasy was our 50th Miss Gay America. And so such a high honor to be crowned as the 50th Miss Gay America in Little Rock, Arkansas, very close to where the very first Miss Gay America happened. So it's the longest standing pageant within the drag community.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
50 long years. Just the fact that it originated in Little Rock, Arkansas. Like when I tell people that, they go, what?
Right. Like they automatically go to like, oh, Duggar country, like.
Yeah.
Right. And there's
here we are. Here we are.
Yes, MGA knowledge from Araya Sparks.
That's right, baby. That's right, honey. Know your history.
Absolutely.
Know your
You have got
history.
to. Because listen, if you don't know your history about something, you have no business being involved. So
That,
learn your
ah,
history, study, and then go. Why do you think that there are certain MGAs who went and won the very first time? Because they sat back, studied the system for years, and then they were prepared to go in and take that title and do what they need to do to progress it.
yep. If you don't know, you gotta go.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's how it was for me at interview. Like for mail interview for Maryland, I was like, look, and I gave them dates, I gave them names, I gave them positions and titles, and they were like, oh, okay.
Right?
So,
Absolutely.
yep,
So
yep.
for those, Desi, can you explain, not specifically your process going into it, but what you have to look forward to at Miss Gay America?
So, first and foremost, it's a lot of work. You will get tired. You will get frustrated. There may even be some tears at some point. But the end goal is the passion that you have for female impersonation and the passion that you have for the people that appreciate female impersonation. Because without the people, it doesn't matter. You gotta make sure the people are prepared, or the people enjoy your entertainment, and that you just entertain them, because that's what it's all about. But preparing for Miss Gay America, it's a lot. If you're not financially sound, if you're not in the mindset to do a drag pageant that lasts 4 days, then you may struggle. So prepare yourself mentally, prepare yourself physically, and prepare yourself financially. Because going into something like this, you can be blindsided if you are not up on what it takes to prepare for something at this level. So
Exactly.
it's a lot. It's a lot. But as the previous conversation we were having, prepare yourself, study, learn your history, learn how it works before you jump into it, because you want to make sure that you're prepared to take something on this high level.
Right. You have to be well rounded. That's the type of person that they're looking for. You can be the best dancer on the planet, but if you cannot administer a meeting or a room or speak well on a microphone, you're only a portion of what they're looking for.
Absolutely. Yep. Three good qualities of a title holder is be a great administrator is definitely one. Be a great entertainer too. And make sure that you're always, always humble. If you don't have those three things, you have no business.
Absolutely. Yeah, we just one of our fellow entertainers asked us that. I believe you responded on that, didn't you, Desi? Someone was asking the qualities of a good entertainer.
Yes.
Was that Ava Rage?
Yeah,
That was
she's
Ava, right?
queen, probably about a year to drag, and you know what? I appreciate her for that,
Because she asked
you don't
questions.
see queens of her caliber
Right.
within a year of drag, and she's very young. She's freshly out of high school. You know,
Yeah.
for her to get on there and say, "Hey, what qualities make up a good drag queen?" Because I want to progress myself.
Right.
I was like, "Wow."
Right.
I was like,
Smart girl.
I have to respond to this.
Absolutely.
You know. So yeah.
I
Absolutely.
love that.
Yeah, she wants to know.
Had a couple other questions. Vicky would like to know, will both of you be competing in the competition, or is it if Amethyst has something happen where she can't compete, you step in for her?
No, we're both competing at nationals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're both competing at nationals. If for any reason I was no longer to continue my reign as Miss Maryland, then Desi would step in and take over the rest of the reign. But as far as us both competing, yes, we are competing on our own caliber, representing the state of Maryland at nationals in January at Miss Gay America.
So a little bit more detail, just in case, you know, maybe the question was a little bit further.
Sure.
What happens when we compete for these titles, whether it's a regional title, a state title? The winner and the first alternate are required and get their ticket to go compete for nationals. It is something that is required, and that we know going into it that the top two spots of that pageant have to go to nationals and compete. So that's part of the rules and regulations of Miss Gay America.
Yeah, it's very detailed and very, very organized.
Yeah.
Very, very.
We have another good question here, and this is one of those heavier questions that I always enjoy. Does the way you respond to hateful comments differ once you become a title holder? Do you stand up for yourself or you just ignore them? I ask this because I had someone tell me nobody gives a fuck about kings and you're too fat to ever be sexy.
I would say my response does not change no matter whether I'm a title holder or not. I'm not one to put a spotlight on negativity like that. If someone wants to act that way or in that manner, then it's not my responsibility to respond to that. That's how they want to be. I choose to be above that. You
Yep.
know what I mean? I don't give in to that sort of thing because a lot of the times that's what they want. You know
Yep.
what I mean? They're just out there trying to catch a fish, and I'm a Pisces and they ain't catching this. So, you know what I mean? You got to be above and beyond that sort of negativity. Yeah.
Yeah. I think what I would say to that is as a title holder, you don't necessarily need to change your response because technically as an individual, you should have already been that type of person prior to that title. So there's that. Two, that is a moment for you and an opportunity for you to educate that person, to educate them on what type of comment they've made or whatever have you, or what the task is at hand. And the last thing is as far as them having an opinion about you as a drag king, first of all, it's none of their business. And quite frankly, it's none of yours because you know what you put on that stage, you know how you entertain, and you know that you have a following. So I would not be concerned about opinions that don't matter.
Nope. What other people think of you is not your problem.
Correct. Because here's the thing. They talk about you while you're here, but they also want to talk about you when you're gone and 6 foot under. And there's nothing you can do about it. So live
Right.
don't worry about those folks and just outgrow them out of your life. That's it.
Exactly.
Some people just want to talk.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because they're attention seeking. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of attention seekers out there, and they will do what they can to try to stir it up so that the spotlight is consistently on them. But if we choose not to get involved in that situation, that light goes out very quickly.
Right. Right. If you're not clapping for somebody else, no one's going to clap for you.
Absolutely.
You know? And you don't shine any brighter by putting out anyone else's light.
Absolutely not.
And you never will. So I want to take the time and give, you're welcome. Yeah, that was pretty good. Thank you, Orion.
Yeah.
I wanted to give a huge shout out to a few individuals who this past Sunday did quite well for themselves at the Miss Gay Pennsylvania America pageant. So a shout out to the reigning Miss Gay Pennsylvania America 2022, Callie Couture, and her first alternate, Morgan. Both queens are on their way to compete with Desi and I in Little Rock, Arkansas in January. Congratulations, ladies.
Yes.
Congratulations as well to the second alternate, Kendralise Quest, doing a wonderful and fabulous job. Ladies, the whole night was just impeccable, and you all were fantastic. So thank you for your talents and your beauty and for what you put on the stage.
Fun fact about Miss Pennsylvania, I was there. That's not the fun fact, but I was there. So, you know, a group of the Maryland girls and I rode on up, and we parked in this parking garage, right? So we come out, and, you know, I'm just old country boy from West Virginia, so I don't know nothing about parking garage and all that, right? So we're in this parking garage, and I go down, and I try to pay my ticket to get out. Well, the arm raises, but the gate doesn't raise.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'm like, oh my God, we're stuck in this parking garage. Now, mind you, I'm in the truck in my truck is myself, Lolly Cox, Miranda Wright, Chastity Vane, and our newest drag queen in the area, Ilea Michelle. And we're all like, we're stuck in this parking garage all night in the middle of Pennsylvania. So, fun fact, I finally realized there was a call button on the box because, you know, I'm not from the city, so I don't know about these things. And I finally told somebody and they let me out. So there was that story.
Those parking garages will get you, honey. You got to be careful.
I was like, oh my gosh. I was about to have to commit a felony and raise the fund to get out.
Right. Jade, I sent you, I messaged you some pictures if you wanted to show them of, it was so nice because, you know, when I won Miss Maryland, you know, and we were included in a group chat of the former Miss Marylands. Okay. And I was like, you know what, it would be really nice if my sisters would show up. to, Miss Gay Pennsylvania in solidarity and in support. And honey, baby, they showed up. They DoorDash McDonald's.
You're welcome.
Baby,
You're welcome.
I came back for my number and they were passing around chicken nuggets. I said, where'd y'all get McDonald's from? Desi's like, DoorDash.
Girl, I pulled up that phone and I said, who's hungry?
Who's hungry?
$87 later, we have McDonald's.
But baby, Marilyn showed up and showed out, and we took some phenomenal photos that night. Do you need time, Jade? Or you?
I didn't get them.
Oh, you didn't get them? Oh no.
No, I did get one photo, and it was this.
Oh.
Yes, and let me explain that. Here, take that down real quick, Jade. So, my friend Jake, fan. I barely know them, only from coming to various shows in the area and supporting me. Him and his partner and their friend Lisa. And he made me something very, very special. Okay. First, he made me this stained glass diamond, and it's purple.
Nice.
And I absolutely adore it. But the one that you had just put up, Jade, which was a surprise gift from him, there was a picture of me right after crowning, standing on stage by myself. And he crafted me a stained glass of myself. Like, it says Miss Gay Maryland on the thing and everything. And it's me in my evening gown after crowning. And I will cherish this forever. This is, when I opened the box, I was just like, wow. I thought it was really, really cool and very, very neat and very unique. And his name is Jake. And his business, you can find him on Instagram at Just Jake Designs. So please look him up if you want any custom work for anything. Hit him up because he's fantastic. So Jake, thank you from the bottom of my heart for that gift. That was a beautiful, beautiful gesture, and I will cherish it always. So back to, what were we talking about again?
This photo that's coming up right here.
Yeah.
That's Marilyn right there, honey. Marilyn showed up. Yep. So starting on the left, on the very left and closest to Jade, you have Joanna Blue, then Truly Fabu, Chastity Vane, Nicole James, Ingenue, myself, Sabrina White, we have Tatiana Vaucher, Miranda Wright, we have Ashley Banks, and we have Sasha Renee. So there are 11 former and reigning Miss Gay Marylands at Miss Pennsylvania. And it was the coolest thing to sit with the cool kids at the table. Like, especially because I'm not from Maryland. You know what I mean? And you all have embraced me so much. And it's beyond, it's just a blessing. It's such a blessing. And I'm filled with such joy and happiness ever since I've been crowned. And I hope that next year I can give it to Desi. So,
We'll see, girl.
We'll see.
You never know, girl. It could happen.
Hey, things happen, honey.
It
things
does.
happen.
We got another really good question here from the incredible Hiding in Plain Sight.
Hey.
They want to know, what are the top 3 things you wish somebody would have told you before you started competing in pageants? We'll start with Desi on this one.
Yeah.
The first thing that pops out to me is, do what you want to do when it comes to your competition package. Don't do what you think they're looking for. So there's 1. 2, make sure you're financially stable because it's expensive. There's 2. And 3, be yourself. Just be yourself. Don't try to be somebody else, because far too often we hear girls come in and say, well, what are the judges looking for? Or in a higher level competition like Maryland or America, oh, I have to have a fully beaded gown because that's what they're looking for. Do what you want to do and stay true to yourself. And it will come threefold when it's your time. When it's your time, it'll be your time, and the time will be right. Dexasy is a perfect example of that. She stuck to her guns. She did what she wanted to do. She showed herself and her personality through her package each and every year that she went back and competed, and her time was right this year. And so I would say those are the top 3 things.
Yeah.
Amethyst.
Desi, you hit the 3 most important ones right off the bat. To follow those up, my goodness. Oh, don't procrastinate.
For sure.
Don't procrastinate. It's hard. You nailed them all. Yeah, like be yourself. Don't do anything that somebody else wants you to do. If trust your instinct on what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's going to tell you, oh, you should do this, you should do that, you look like this, you should do that. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Don't do it, because you will not produce a winning package if it doesn't come from who you are.
Yep.
You really hit all the ones that I was going to say.
Well, I can add a fourth one.
Sure.
So for me also, I run a pageant for the last 12 years. And so what I have learned through that, on that aspect of it, is that far too often we get queens who don't have an open mind to feedback. So always keep an open mind to grow and learn.
Yeah.
And further that more, lean on those around you that are resources that can help you get to the dreams and the goals that you have set for yourself. It takes a village. And when we say that, we don't say that to be a joke or to, it takes a village. No, it's legit. You have to have a team of people behind you that have different strengths and weaknesses throughout to make sure that your package is solid. And to turn that around, when it's your time to be the resource for them, do so.
Absolutely.
So I would add that.
Yeah.
I love that. Every time I've competed for something, it was something I wanted to do. And when I won my first title, I had a lot of people saying you should go into the America system. You would do well. You would be great. You would be fantastic. And that's not my journey. I have the utmost respect for it, but that's not my path. But it's always surround yourself with the right people and do what you love doing. Simple as that. And
pageantry is not for everybody.
Exactly.
You don't have to be a pageant queen. There's a stigma out there that in order to get anywhere, you have to do pageants, and you don't. You absolutely don't. Do things. That's why I think my pageant is so open, and why people flock to my pageant, because it's a fun twist on it. It's not a standard pageant. It's about being in Halloween and doing whatever you want and answering funny on stage questions. So you don't need to be a pageant queen. Do your thing. Do what you want to do.
Speaking of Halloween, we did get some Halloween questions that we'll be answering in just a little bit.
Okay.
But we got another fun question here, and I really like this one, and it is from Araya Sparks. For both of you, what is it that you would like to see happen this year for the Gay Maryland system?
Uh-huh.
You knew it was coming, girl.
Uh-huh.
She's been brewing on that for a couple minutes.
No, that's perfectly fine. As Miss Maryland, my job and duty is to grow the system for the following year. I want to see at least 5 preliminaries. I want at least a minimum of 10 contestants next year. I want to see a Miss Gay Baltimore America. I want to see a Miss Eastern Maryland. I want to open it up to more people. I want to reach out to everybody. So I want a war next year. I want a 10-day pageant with 87 contestants. Because Maryland is a blessing, and it is my duty and job and purpose to get that message out there that you want to run for Miss Maryland. I assure you of that. I am 3.5 weeks in, and I'm gonna tell you what, you want to run for this title. Okay, so, and that's my job and duty, is to make the system grow. And I'm going to do just that. Watch. So, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. As we know that since social media has become such a major platform for queens and entertainers across this country and the world, really, it's easier. It doesn't take as much effort to get on and make a TikTok. It doesn't take as much effort to get on and make a live video as it does to prepare for a pageant. And so what our job is as title holders is to create the environment and make it look fun and give them reasons and incentives to want to run for Miss Maryland in order for that pageant system to grow. Because if you don't, it's going to die out.
Right.
If you don't, it's like a plant. If you don't water it, what happens? It dies, right? So it's our job now to water this pageant in order for it to grow and progress. Miss Maryland has been around for 37 years. It's been in our community, and it's something that has a lot of people by the heartstrings because it was such a fight to get there and obtain that goal and a sisterhood to be a part of. It's not even about the crown. It's about the sisterhood. It's about the legacy. So in order to keep that going, it's now our jobs to do that. You know, even though I'm not the reigning Miss Maryland, it's still my job as a Maryland girl to make sure that this system thrives in order for Miss Maryland to continue on for another 37 years.
Exactly. And Desi, that's a good point. That's something that Araya mentioned to me when we were first talking about me even running in Maryland. The crown doesn't make you Miss Maryland. You should already come to the pageant as Miss Maryland. You know what I mean? It's how you act and how you portray yourself and how you carry yourself in your everyday life that makes you the reigning queen. This is just another piece of jewelry. This means nothing. I didn't come, on October 1st for a crown. I came for a job. And that's exactly how you have to treat it. That's exactly how you have to treat it. This is a job. And if you're in it for the crown and the popularity, please don't do it, because you're going to do it a huge disservice. A huge service, and this 37-year legacy deserves much more than that. So yeah.
And one thing that Dex was going live in between her travels and stuff through the different preliminaries, and one thing she said has resonated with me since I've heard her say it, is that the only time that it's about you is when you get that crown put on your head. That's your moment, that's your night. After that, it is about the people. It is about the future contestants, the future promoters, the future spectators, because without those folks, the system will not thrive and it will not continue. So, making people the priority of your reign is absolutely how you can be successful.
Indeed.
One of the most profound statements I've ever heard is a queen not to rule people, but to serve people.
Absolutely.
Which is weird if she's a cannibal, because then she's literally serving people.
Oof.
Is that the rest of the quote?
I think so. I don't know. It's Halloween. What do you want from me?
When? That's spooky.
Speaking of Halloween, we have some fun Halloween questions here. And the first one is from Chanel. What is your favorite Halloween memory?
Oh, goodness. So I have mine, if you'd like me to share first.
Go for it.
Okay. My favorite Halloween memory is actually the very first time I ever got in drag. So 2009, Washington, D.C., freshly out of maybe 4 years, was not in any shape or form concerned about doing drag or knew much about it. I was probably 18, 19, around that age, and a friend of mine who unfortunately is no longer with us, who is kind of responsible for me doing drag, said, "Come on, girl, let's get in drag. Let's go to DC for Halloween." And I was like, nuts. I was like, "You want me to parade around in heels? I've never walked a pair of heels in my life." Like, and he's like, "Yeah, girl, let's do it." So we got all dressed up and we thought we were cute and, wearing our little off the rack dresses and all that good stuff. And I went and bought myself a pair of platform boots, which was a mistake, by the way. So we come out of the club, my feet are aching and carrying on. And I'm like, I'm over this. We had to walk 2 blocks to find our car, and it starts pouring down raining. My wig is soaking wet. My feet are hurting. So I ripped the wig off. I took the boots off, and I'm walking down the middle of DC with bald headed, no shoes, and half my makeup missing. And so I look back on that and I'm like, that's what I've come from. The experience that taught me a life lesson about drag to begin with. Do not wear platform boots if you're going to be on your feet all night.
I love that.
That's
I love that. So we both started in DC. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started in DC much earlier than you did. Probably a decade prior, in '99. So, but favorite Hollywood, yeah, because we're there. Favorite Halloween memory. I'm going to give this to Halloween 1983. I don't know that it's a memory of mine because it's been that long, but so my first time in drag was Halloween of 1983 because my mother, Tammy Ruby, if you're watching, this is for you, thought it would be cute to put her 3-year-old in drag. Well, Joke's on you.
Right. I'm still here.
So thank you, Tammy Ruby, for this. Let's see, what are we at? 38 years, 37, 39 years later. So yeah, that's my favorite Halloween memory is my mom putting me in drag when I was 3. So haha.
That's amazing. I'm pretty sure my first time in drag was Halloween as well. Just like every other drag performer, we were all birthed on Halloween. I did, in fact, last night have a fun new adventure in drag, going to a Halloween party. And I recently got something new that I had not used before, and I finally used it last night. I got myself a breastplate.
I was gonna say this sounds kinky.
This is hot. Yeah.
Look at those. Yes,
I got some girls. I have worn them twice in the last few weeks, and my husband, who I want to give a huge shout out to, was perfectly prepared to jump in and save the day tonight if I wouldn't have been able to make it here on time, to the point that he was putting on drag to do the show tonight. And I called him early enough that he was like, oh, I actually got really kind of excited for that. So I want to apologize that I kind of lifted his spirits and kind of crushed them at the same time. You would have been co-hosted by the incredible Husky Varna. Yeah,
that's a good man right there. When your drag queen wife is going to be late to her podcast, and the first thought is, well, I guess I gotta be a woman. That's a good man.
My Husky Varna, my Jade DeVere's life partner. But he also, you know, he is my #1 fan. And this week, we did a photo shoot to incorporate my drag and my current job at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair. Amethyst, I don't know if I've shown you these yet, but I will share with you what happens when Jade goes to the mud pit. This happens.
Girl.
Oh, yeah.
For lover, that's sexy.
Okay, all right, I'm living for that. I love that good pose. Look at her. She said, I'm going on the cover of Vogue with all this mud, honey.
You know, dirt and all. No dirt won't hurt. She's going to make the cover.
I have to tell you, like, it's funny. Like, we did a couple photos in front of it, and then I was like, you know what? I just got to go in. And I just flopped myself back, froze to death for a hot second because, you know, it's mud in October. And then I was like, okay, I'm okay. Oh, God, this was a choice. Here we go.
Girl, ain't nothing like a good old mud wrestle.
Exactly. Alrighty, where were we on the questions? I know we had another Halloween one. What is your favorite Halloween candy?
I like it all because I just like to eat candy.
I know, but some candy only comes out on Halloween, though. Like, obviously, yes, I love all candy. Just give it to me. I'll eat it. That's fine. But, like, special Halloween candy. Like, okay, so do we love or hate candy corn?
Hated it.
I have to be in the mood.
Hated it.
All of it? Even the pumpkins? Even the little tiny candy corn?
I hate the pumpkins.
Listen, so I feel like I'm eating wax. I had braces for 5 years, and I feel like that's what I'm putting in my mouth is the wax.
Heard. Okay.
Hated it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I don't even know what else they come out with on Halloween. I don't...
popcorn balls. Basic.
If I tell you a little insider information, you can only get miniature size crackle bars. They don't do the regular size anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
I love a crackle.
And I'm not saying that as an employee of the Hershey Company. Yeah, you do the regular size ones. You can't get them anymore.
Wow.
What's those little caramel and apple sucker things? Is that a Halloween exclusive?
Those are good.
I love those. But I do love a good piece of chocolate. Reese's to be exact.
Yep.
Yeah.
My favorite Halloween candy is Smarties. Or Sweet Tarts.
Or Spree.
Spree.
I don't know if they're Halloween or not, but I love a good Starburst jelly bean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I can eat a whole bag.
Or a Zagnut. I
You
love me a good Necco wafer. Necco wafers.
That don't sound like a piece of candy, but all right.
It doesn't. You're right. It's cardboard, honestly.
Yep. All right. Ready for another question?
Hit it.
Bring it.
From Orion. You are now in a Rocky Horror cast. You have to pick a role to play, but it cannot be a role you've played already.
Oh, wow.
I haven't played any of them.
Then which one do you want?
I don't know. There's so many good ones that you could choose. What's the maid's name? Magenta. I would play her because let me tell you why. Because every single time I get on stage or I do a competition, my first critique is always, "Why do you look like you're so pissed off?" So I'm like, you know what? I'll just play characters that have a sad face all the time, and I'll be good.
RBF.
I got the RBF for real.
You got the RBF.
So yeah, I'd probably do Magenta.
I was gonna pick her too. I've already been Frankenfurter, so.
I mean, that's an obvious choice, of course, because a lot of people like it's a fun character to play and it's a fun character to perform. And let's be honest, you don't have to really wear the padding and the breast and all that good stuff. So, you know.
That's true. I don't know. I don't know all the characters. I mean,
what's the boy on the slab? What do they call him?
Rocky.
Rocky?
Oh, that's Rocky. See, that's Rocky. Paid attention to the
I
movie.
know.
But
Rocky fans out there are choking to death right now.
They really are. They're like, "How are you going to be a drag queen and I know about this?"
Sorry. Got a couple more whammies for you.
Tonight.
Right.
I'm literally racking my brain because I've done Rocky Horror so many times. My only option is Janet. And Eddie.
Wow. Okay.
Everybody else in that show except for Janet or Eddie.
Wow.
Let me tell you, painting on abs when you have to play Rocky because the Rocky you cast bailed the day of the show. Not a fun experience.
Girl, I'm just thinking about painting abs on this belly down here. There ain't no abs in sight.
Right.
Right. Okay. And that was my experience.
Right.
What is the next
but yeah, question? That's what we got.
Hayden has another good question here. Where can one find competitions for non-binary performers?
That's a good question.
I will say that there's a particular rule with my pageant that I run that it is open to anybody and everybody who wishes to compete. One of my former title holders is a femme queen. Lives her day-to-day life as a woman. So, you know, personally, my competition is open to anybody. I don't know of any competition that necessarily has a main rule of, you know, you have to be a certain, you have to identify a certain type. Miss Gay America does have a rule of you being majority male at birth and no work or anything like that below the neck. But I would say, you know, I'm not real too 100% sure on that. I don't want to give you the wrong information. So,
I mean, most ball titles and local titles are usually all ages. Krishnara Sparks Diamond just said the drag arena is open to everybody as well. You know, our sister Reed. What is Reed's drag name? Phantasma or
Evelyn Phantasma.
Evelyn? That's right. Competed for Drag Arena as well. So yeah, I definitely I would check local bars and local establishments. But most of the national titles have rules and regulations. Perhaps Entertainer of the Year might allow that. I'm not sure of their bylaws and all that, but
I
I
would
would check
say,
more.
as far as national goes, I would say Miss United States probably has a little bit of diversity there as well.
Right.
Araya just said the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Well, and like Haydn does have the it also has to be very accessible. Being in a wheelchair, you know,
Right.
backstage areas are not always the most accessible places. So
Right.
they got to figure that out as well. But it's out there. Like it's just it has to be out there.
Correct.
It is. And honestly, if it's not, start the conversation.
Absolutely.
Start the conversation and make it happen.
Yep.
Make it happen. If you
You
can't
could-
find something that works for you, start it.
You could absolutely be the trailblazer that gets that started for folks who don't have that outlet. And, you know, it's got to start somewhere. So, you know, I would absolutely start sending messages and asking promoters, hey, you know, what's the deal with this? Is this a thing? Blah, blah, blah. Because you absolutely could open up minds to look at things a little differently when it comes to their competitions. And that would be amazing.
Yep. They also want to know, can we get some information for your pageant?
As far as
just the name and everything.
For Deadly Diva.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I thought they were asking about Miss America. Girl, I was out the other field. So my pageant is called Miss Deadly Diva. We actually just held it back on October 21st, which was last Friday, and we crowned the lovely Jinx Yomi from Western Maryland. I started my pageant in 2012 at a little bar called Sugar Daddy's in Martinsburg, West Virginia. And then it was moved to a club called Spin in Hagerstown, and then it's been at home at the lodge ever since. But my pageant is a Halloween-based pageant that allows girls to be creative and allows girls to bring themselves or bring anyone to bring themselves the way that they choose based on the competition format. So there is a talent category that is completely open to do whatever it is that you'd like to do to display your talents for the judges panel. And then there's a on-stage question portion, which are very fun questions, and not very administrative-driven questions. They're just fun questions that you may respond to them any way that you like. As long as the question gets answered, you should receive a great score. And then there's a creative fashion, which is based on the Reignings theme. So this past year, we were able to do a theme that was similar to Disney Descendants, where they had to create a descendant of a character of their choice or two characters of their choice and create that character and then model it with a short storyline that was read during modeling to create that atmosphere for that character. So very fun pageant, very open pageant. The reason I started Deadly Diva was because New Girls didn't have an outlet at that time. They didn't have an outlet to learn about competition, to learn how to compete, to go through the experiences of preparing a package for a pageant. You can ask any of my girls, my formers, or any of my past contestants who may not be formers, that I'm involved in all of their packages. I sit through their rehearsals. You know, I go through and make sure that they have the correct vision that they want for creative presentation. I will call you randomly and say, hey, pop quiz, here's your question, give me an answer. Just to make sure that they're prepared, you know, and that they don't take a too left field wrong turn when preparing for the package. So Deadly Diva's a fun pageant. Did I think that it would last for 12 years? I did not. But here we are, and it's still kicking.
Wow.
So.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
That sounds like so much fun too.
Right.
You know, it's fun to be on the sidelines sometimes, and that's my getaway from being in the spotlight. And you know, I enjoy helping people. I enjoy being on the sidelines and helping them, not just in drag, but everyday life. And it gives me great pleasure to know that when people are successful, I'm successful. So that's my life motto, girl.
Yep.
Keep it.
Yep.
Keep it and spread the word.
Next question here. What is your favorite Halloween costume?
Oh, girl, we dress up 365 days a year.
Right?
No,
Favorite costume. You're looking at it, Toots.
you know, fun fact for me, for many years, Halloween was my night off. And that was just me personally, because I did dress up every day of the year throughout the year. And I let everybody else dress up that night. So for me, my favorite costume is being Travis, which is my boy name.
I feel that. How about you, Amethyst?
I don't know. I really love Storm. I love being Storm from the X-Men. I just recently did Rogue from the X-Men. That was super fun. People really like that. I don't know. I really enjoy being Maleficent too. That one's kind of fun for me. So I can really get into
See
that
that
role.
last Saturday. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. It's just fun because I'm literally like 9 foot tall, and even little kids are like,
Whoa, she's scary.
"Don't mess with her." Honey, I did have one little girl. She was so cute. She wasn't scared of shit. She was just like, like having the time of her life. She was so cute. Yeah, Maleficent has been the most fun for me. I think, definitely.
Yeah.
I just did Nadia from What We Do in the Shadows.
Hmm.
That was so fun. She's such an idiot. That show is so good. If you're not watching What You Do in the Shadows, watch What We Do in the Shadows. It's amazing. But yeah, I
Speaking
also did Lydia from Beetlejuice.
Right, that's right. Did you do the red? Was it all red? Or
No, I did the musical version. I did the funeral
that,
dress.
that's right. That's
Um,
right.
And that was a tough performance because that was right after my grandmother passed. And I was
Wow.
like, you know what? I need to do this.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that's the thing about drag. Sometimes you have to do a performance for you,
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and you need to get it out. That emotional outlet is necessary.
Yep. Absolutely.
Screwed up my knee dropping on that stage, but I was in the moment and I was like, nope, this is where I'm at right now.
Right.
But yeah, drag is therapeutic sometimes.
It can
It
be.
is.
And it's also very painful at times.
Yes, that
Honey,
very that.
honey, my knees are ready to quit. Like seriously,
Yep.
they're
My
like
feet are
we're kind of done.
my feet are done. They've been done for quite some time.
Yeah.
Like,
Like even sitting here and doing this and talking is therapeutic. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Just sitting here and just being in fellowship and enjoying the art of drag and just reaching out to people. That's what it's about. It's a pretty simple concept, that gets lost among many, but just sitting here is therapeutic. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
for me, I love the fact that you can escape your reality for those few hours.
Sure.
Yes, your problems will be there when you're done, but the serenity of just having that calmness for 2 to 3, maybe 4 hours of just being somebody else and putting yourself in a different set of shoes is very therapeutic for me personally.
Definitely.
I think that goes hand in hand too with a lot of people have misconceptions about drag because drag is different to everybody. Like I think the three of us are very much on a similar page where we're performance artists. We are giving people an escape for a little while. But for some drag artists, this is the stepping stone to realizing their true authentic self. And
Indeed.
and everything in between.
Yep.
Some people do it because they're turned on by it. Not my journey, but
Yeah.
No.
yeah,
No.
I'm turned off by it, honestly.
For the
The big
record.
the biggest stepping stone that I love to see that drag creates is it helps those transition to them just figuring out who they are as a trans individual.
Sure.
And I love that because it allows them to step out of the life that they hate for a while and then eventually realize, you know what? I'm going to push myself over to what I really want to be and who I really am inside. So, that's the biggest thing that I love about the transition for folks who use it as a stepping stone to trans lifestyle. So,
Yeah.
I get the most joy when I get to know a trans person, specifically trans men, and as they're on their hormone treatment, their voice drops. And I get super excited. Then I'm like, oh my gosh, your voice is so deep right now. I become a happy mom.
Yeah.
I'm proud of my baby. Your voice dropped, buddy. One of my coworkers, his voice has dropped so much, and I'm just so happy for him.
Yep.
Oh, we're having a lot of folks pop in tonight. The incredible Ted Van Son just popped in.
Oh,
Hi,
hi,
Ted.
Teddy.
Hey,
Hey,
Teddy,
Ted.
how you doing?
How we doing?
Oh,
we got
there's
Richard
Ivana
Reinhardt.
Wright. Hey, girl.
Hi.
That's I call her the heavy feet of the lodge because she stomps across that stage with her heavy feet.
Who is it?
Ivana Wright.
Oh, babe.
Oh, my girl.
That was Richard. That was Richard Reinhardt. That's Ivana.
I love the hell out of that bitch. I really do. I haven't known her for very long. Honestly, I think we first really met for the first time at Hagerstown Pride back in July. That was the first time we had like an actual interaction.
Yep.
And I love me some Ivana Wrights.
Well,
So,
I don't have a choice but to love her because she lifts my big ass up on the stage. So,
well, bless her heart, honey.
right.
Bless it, honey.
I met her. We were booked in a Game of Thrones themed brunch, and she was booked last minute because someone else dropped out, and we were all just kind of like, Game of Thrones, sure, that's in my wheelhouse. And I created 3 Game of Thrones mixes, had never seen the show before. I'm memorizing quotes that I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but apparently it's popular. That show was crazy.
That's awesome.
We have a question here specifically for Desi.
Yeah.
What is the story behind your drag name?
So, fun fact. I originally didn't have this name. I never performed under anything else but this particular name. However, when I first started, it was around the time that Nicki Minaj was really hot, and she was just coming out as an artist and being really popular. So my former roommate at the time, he was a die-hard Nicki fan. I mean, posters on his wall, everything. So my former first name was Desiree before I started to perform. And one day we're just at the apartment and, we're doing our thing. And he just looks over at me out of the blue and he's like, you should be DEZI Minaj. And I was like, that's cute. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, we're going with it. So she was born and here we are.
There it is.
Yep.
I love that.
There she goes.
Yep. And still to this day, he'll tell you, I named her.
Oh, that's cute. I love that. I love that.
Here's another fun one. If you were to write a book based on your drag performer's life, what would you call it?
Oof. That's a deep one, girl.
What would I name it? Your drag performer's life. Crash Bang Boom.
How big is the cover? Because it would probably be a long title for me.
Right. A lot of quotations.
If I had to say something quickly, I would probably say, I don't even know. That's hard. That's a lot. Because the trials and tribulations of one being an LGBTQ plus person and being a drag queen, there's a lot that goes into that life. And I could probably write 3 books on the same thing.
Right.
That's tough.
I would have to break it down into volumes of like decades.
Mm-hmm.
I think because there's a growth there in that story. So
if I had to say something quickly, I would probably title it "The Boy versus the Queen."
Okay.
Because that's exactly what this has been for me, and still occasionally is still that way.
Yeah.
Girl, that's a deep question.
That's a deep question. You're making us think. Oh my God.
Well, not only that, but it makes you think about it too. Like it makes you stop for a second and say, I have been through some trials and tribulations through this. So yeah, the boy versus the queen. Yeah, that's me.
I think mine would be called thousands of dollars worth of gay shit.
Oh, probably more than thousands.
I'm surrounded by it right now.
You're not wrong.
Sitting here looking at my Nicole James wigs, thinking about everybody else is wearing one. I should throw one on.
Why not, girl? It's your show. Do your thing.
Right. I got one on. Shoot, go ahead, honey.
Let's be a Nicole James model show.
Come on, like, Nicole. This is for you, Nicole.
Be like Sunny Delight does. Now the 360.
And now the 360. Here we go.
Right.
Shout out to you, Sunny. I was going to wear your hair earlier, but then I went all purple, so Nicole got the win. I'm sorry. Love you, Sunny. Love you to death. And congratulations, Miss Continental.
Absolutely. Yes, congratulations.
Congratulations, Miss
You want to talk about somebody who is dedicated to a system other than DEXIC? It's that one right there.
Baby.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, I hope Nicole's watching.
I've seen that wig in person. I remember when it was sitting in her basement.
Yep.
She was trying to steal it.
I might have. Because every time I come up there, I'm like, girl, you got any hair done?
I don't blame her.
I bought this wig first, and I didn't know what... I bought two of them, and I talked to Nicole, and she was like, I'll style it for you. I gave her both, and she was like, girl, I did this just in one. So she did a second one for me, which is...
somewhere.
Over there.
I have worn this wig in 3 different styles. Like, it keeps... What I love about it is I can wear it so many different ways, depending on how I turn it, how I pin it. Like, it's been a mohawk, it's been a ponytail, it's been a full-on wig. Like, I'm in love with it. I'm in love with it. So thank you, Nicole.
Yeah, moral of the story. Get you a Nicole James piece of hair.
Moral of the story. Hashtag Nicole J.
Right.
Where the hell is my other Nicole James?
It's around. You probably left it in my house. I don't know.
I probably did. Damn it.
And you're welcome. And thank you for your donation.
For just today, you can keep Amethyst Diamond competing in pageants.
Well, baby.
Okay, maybe not.
Lots of mini, honey.
I've seen more expensive shit.
Do you? Hey, Vince. How are you, honey? It's good to see you. I'm just looking at the comments as they come in. Hi.
There were a lot of fantastic questions tonight. I like that.
It really is.
Good. It's about education.
Girl, that book one put me through it.
Right.
Yeah.
Got me over here sweating. I'm like, oof.
That was
right.
But it was a very good question. Like, you know, I love those kind of questions because it makes you think about things, and I love that.
Yep.
That's like Derek's helpful drag tip.
Absolutely. That's
sharing a brain right now.
That's a good on-stage question, by the way.
Love you.
Speaking of Derek's helpful drag tip, he's got a doozy for us this evening. This is a very polarizing helpful drag tip, but I stand by what he says in it. Derek's helpful drag tip. If you're filtering your photos to the point where you no longer look like yourself or human, the only thing you are serving is a false bill of goods. Hashtag Anne of Cleves.
I feel very attacked.
This is wrong.
True.
Raw.
I like.
I still have nostrils.
I messaged one of my gal pals last night. I was like, girl, you don't need to do all that. You are beautiful. Please stop.
Say her name. I'm just kidding.
I will. I love you, Jasleen. Stop using the filter. Krishna,
you are a beautiful woman and a beautiful boy.
Well, there is that.
Soft filtering, okay, not a big deal. But let your beauty shine through. You are better than these filters. Come on.
You're welcome.
Like,
seriously, look at this. It's gorgeous.
Hello.
How you doing?
And like, I don't want to single those two out. A lot of people use them. But you two gals, because I love you both, you don't need to use the filter so much.
Yeah.
You're beautiful.
Yeah.
You are beautiful.
And
award-winning.
And award-winning. Hello. Speaking of beautiful, a question for Desi.
Oh.
What makeup are you wearing? That foundation looks amazing.
Girl, it is the good old-fashioned Dermablend. The leg and body.
Come on, leg and body.
It covers up tattoos. It covers up scars. It covers up blemishes. That's what I wear. And you know what? Y'all probably gonna hang me out to dry when I tell you this, but I use CoverGirl press powder. I sure do. It like I'm looking at my makeup station right now. I have about 10 things on there, and that's all I've used for years. Yep, leg and body Dermablend. You can get it on Amazon.
Sure can.
Yep. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it, though.
I used to use Dermablend not for myself, but for a friend of mine who had tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing murder mysteries at the time, and she had, her whole shoulder done. But for that time period, her character could not have that. We got Dermablend, and that tattoo was gone.
My entire arm over here is tattooed, and my evening gown for Western Maryland was, my arms are completely out. And so a couple of the formers are back there just stabbing me for like 2 hours. But it covers it.
Yep.
That was a beautiful green gown.
Yeah, I got a little too plump for it, is the nice word, I guess, to say.
Healthy. You got healthy, honey. That's okay. We all healthy.
My Western Maryland gown, actually, which is I borrowed from Stephanie Michaels. She's allowed me to wear that gown a couple times now. But yeah, I don't fit in it anymore.
Honey, we all getting healthy. Okay, I'm not wearing a breastplate. Okay.
Right.
So we've got about 15 minutes left to the show. And one thing I always like to do is throw a little bit of a curveball. So I'm going to ask Desi, what is one thing you've always wanted to ask Amethyst Diamond?
Well, this and I haven't known each other that long.
We haven't.
So that's kind of a hard question, but from what I know about her from then to now, I don't know. Okay, here's one. And this is more of a pageant question. And what pulled you towards Maryland versus your home state of PA when it comes to the pageants that you chose?
Thank you, Desi. I am contestant number 4, Amethyst Diamond. In response to my question, I'm just kidding. But no, the 37-year legacy that is Miss Gay Maryland America, the fact that 4 former Miss Gay Marylands went on to be Miss Gay America, Sabrina White, Linda Carrero, Maya Montana, and Andorra Tate. Know your history.
Absolutely.
The sisterhood, the fact that you are so supported and loved and appreciated. One thing I will never, ever, ever forget for as long as I live, when I stood up after crowning and I turned around and I seen 17 former Miss Gay Marylands there, and they were all looking at me like I was one of them. I can't wait for you to have that feeling, because you will never, ever forget that feeling. It's powerful. And that is why I ran for Maryland, because it's more than a title. It's more than a crown. It's a family. It's a unit. It's so many things wrapped into one that are just so much more than a title. There's just unity and solidarity, and there's a love for drag, and there's a love for the system, and so much dedication to the title and to the artistry of drag. So that is why I ran for Maryland.
And I love that you know that about the Maryland side, because, you know, I've gotten to experience that from day one. And, you know, even though it's not quite my time yet, which I firmly believe my time will be when it's supposed to be, I still have been able to feel all those feelings that you felt that night. And so, you know, for me to stand back there and watch you feel all that was heartwarming for me as well.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I've watched Miss Maryland's be crowned since 2001. Since Truly Fabu to Miranda Wright, I watched all of them be crowned. All of them.
Yep.
And when I turned around and I seen all of them standing there because I was now the reigning, it's a feeling I can't wait for you to have.
Yep. Yep.
It's worth more than its weight in gold.
Will come. My day will come, and I know.
And it will come.
Yeah.
And it will. Which leads me to my question for you.
Okay.
How was it for someone who was not from Maryland to win Miss Gay Maryland America for you?
For me personally, and I've said this to several different people, you know, of course we all go in and want to win. But for me, I was, of course, you know, that night I was discouraged in myself. I thought I had let down my Maryland family. I thought I had let people down, that I wasn't able to secure it. However, much like a similar conversation you and I had after Glamour Girl, I got up the next day, I got myself back together, and I said, all right, let's move forward. But for me, I'm excited for the fact that for 37 years, we now have someone who comes from a different side or a different area that can progress and take this title different places. Because historically, Miss Maryland has been known to be in Western Maryland and Baltimore. It hasn't been outside of that very often, if any. And so, you know, that's why I was excited that, you know, when I realized, you know, once I got my thoughts together and realized that you had, you know, you're now the queen of Maryland, I was excited to see that it's now going to go outside of those boundaries, and that's going to allow the system to progress that much more just by the simple fact that it's outside of its typical areas. Yeah. So, yep.
Good. Jade, did we do good?
I'm enjoying how much you have each other's backs right now. And that's one thing I've always admired about the America system. While it's a competition, it's sisterhood first, competition second.
Mm-hmm. Right. We all have a common goal. We all have the common goal. And much like we said earlier, it's not about the crown. It's not about that at all. You know, far too often we see other areas of drag where they tear each other down and they, you know, consistently bash each other or consistently stealing venues from each other. And, you know, I'm better than the other, or I got this better than the other. You know, it's not about that, man. It's about the common goal of entertaining people and creating a show for people that people can come and enjoy. It's not about all that other stuff. And far too often we see that, and it tears friendships apart, and it's just not worth it at the end of the day.
It does. It's sad. It's real competitive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially for territories and bars and shows and shit like that. It's my show better than your show. I'm going to book my show at the same time you're booking your show just to be an asshole. Like, stop it. It's not like that.
Yep. Yeah. And that would be chapter 17 of The Boy versus the Queen.
Right. Right.
I like that. Another pageant question here. In the Miss PA USA pageant, we had to raise a certain amount of money in sponsorships. Does the Miss Gay America system require anything like that?
I don't know whether or not it's a requirement.
It's not.
Okay.
It is not a requirement. However, what I will say is it is your responsibility to make your reign what you want it and to make your reign successful. With that, there is the opportunity to create a platform on what you really want to put out there during your year. Personally, for me, it's about substance abuse. So sponsorships and money raised for substance abuse, you know, places in my particular area would absolutely be my platform. So at the Miss Gay America system, no, it's not required, but it's definitely highly encouraged to have a platform. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we still have about 10 minutes left.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Any other questions popping in? Anything we can talk about?
There was one I think I saw. Where did it go? Please tell us how we can get involved with drag pageants without competing.
Multiple different things.
Yeah.
You could be a tabulator. You can tabulate the scores. You could be a judge if you have the qualifications, which doesn't necessarily mean you need to mean that you have to do drag to be a judge.
Right.
Backup dancing is absolutely a good place to start. You know, maybe you're somebody who builds props for the queens for their talents. I mean, there's multiple different levels that you could be involved.
So many.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Just volunteer your help, your time. You can be at the door. You could be selling tickets. You could be collecting things for the entertainers. You could be the backstage person getting waters. There are so many different things because we need people from A to B and then B to C and C to D to connect all those dots for us. Just jump in and say, where can I be of service for you?
Absolutely.
And I guarantee you will get 47 different jobs.
Because trust me, when I tell you, like last week, I had a whole team assembled I had somebody for backstage manager to make sure that the lineup was running efficiently. I even had my good friend, I called her my cocktail server. I said, make sure the contestants and the girls have drinks. You know, there's so many different parts that are moving the pageant that doesn't necessarily mean you need to be the competitor.
Success cannot be done alone. It takes a village for everything.
As the infamous Barbara Seville says, it takes a village.
It takes a village. I love it.
She said that in my first year Miss Gay America when I competed. And I said, oh,
wow.
That's you.
A village. That's crafty. That's crafty, Barbara. I see you, Barbara.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Derek would like to know, if not MGA, what other pageant system appeals to you, possibly for the future?
For me, Miss Gay America system is very prominent in Western Maryland. We don't have the outlets for the other systems like US of A or Continental local to us. And I don't think past America, for me, I have any interest in the other systems as far as being a competitor myself. I absolutely would be interested in, you know, smaller competitions, bar competitions, things like that. But as far as the national level goes, my heart lies with Miss Gay America.
Yeah, the America system is definitely one that is fit for me. If I had to choose another one, that would be a similar fit for me, not in comparison to the America system, but more in comparison to myself. I would say All American Goddess.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I could see that.
US of A is has some similarities as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, mine is Comedy Queen.
Yeah.
Oh, she gonna go for the National Comedy Queen?
Not anytime soon.
Oh, girl,
the whole financial
no time better than
thing.
now. No time better than the present.
True.
Financial stabilities. Love that.
I'll tell you something about Jade DeVere. She's been a force since I met her, and I met her at least 13 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
At least. We used to perform together quite a few times, actually. So many times I don't even remember where we performed together at.
Liquid, which doesn't exist anymore.
Yes, correct. I remember that show. It was a doozy.
Really?
Oh yeah, girl.
Yeah. Liquid 891 on Eisenhower Boulevard in Harrisburg. What year was this? Where was I? Was I married?
Oh, I was married. What year was that? That was probably.
I was married. I missed it. I'm sorry.
2014, 20.
Yeah.
2015.
That's when I got married.
It was a while back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We did that. Ashley Lynn put that together.
Hey, girl.
Yep. She sure did. It was the West Virginia versus PA battle.
Yes.
And it was
Stephanie
a
Mines.
long show. We did not have Stephanie. So at that time, I was a younger queen at that time. I was a little stubborn, a lot stubborn actually. And I decided I was going to form my own drag troupe and have my own venues, and that's exactly what I did. So I had a bunch of girls from West Virginia, and we all hiked up there, and Ashley put her team together. I put my team together, and we went at it. And we both had, one of us had the opening, one of us had the closing, and I'll never forget it. We went out there and we took 2 pairs of leggings and we cut a hole in the crotch of one, made it a shirt, and we went out there and did Survivor by Destiny's Child and made it happen as an opening number. It's actually on YouTube if you want to try to go find it. And the friend of mine that actually got me started in drag is in that video, so I cherish it a lot. And unfortunately, he's no longer with us, so I do watch it occasionally.
Wow,
that was a crazy night,
wasn't it? It was wild.
None of us really knew what we were getting into, and we were like, we're just going to have a good time.
Well, and for us, we were all still new in drag, so we were like, "Oh, it's a booking out of town. We got a booking out of town." Like, you know,
we
so
ain't getting
like,
paid,
"Oh,
got
we're
booked.
going outside. We're going outside of Martinsburg, honey. We're grand." You know, so you know, that's what it was for us. And we got up there, we did our thing, and here it was. So
I love that. That's so cool.
Well, and that was another perfect example of, while it was a competition, we were there to have a good time.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, we were having fun. And then when the PA team lost, we were bitter.
Ooh.
We were like, what just happened?
Ooh.
And then the West Virginia team was more bitter that our one girl won that we didn't want to win because we heard about it for the next 2 years. And she doesn't even do drag anymore.
Oh,
that's funny.
I still remind her every now and again.
I love that.
Oh, here's another good question.
Ooh.
Do you remember your first show? Where was it, and what numbers did you perform?
Oh, gosh.
Where was it, Desi?
It was at this club in the middle of downtown Martinsburg called the Red Cafe that was known as a straight dance bar club. I would never walk into an establishment like that, like this these days. And I don't know how I did it then, but we did. Walked up in there and said, "Hey, can we have a drag show here?" Yeah, why not?
Sure.
So first show was at this particular bar club, and I did, and it's not my finest moments, and I don't think any of our first shows ever were. I did Beyonce because I thought I was somebody's Beyonce, and it turns out I am not. What song was it? It was I don't know. It was one of her older songs. I don't remember what it was, but yeah. So I did Beyonce. And then I turned around and flipped the script and thought that I was Jill Scott and that I could perform Jill Scott as well in a pair of jeans and a Deb's Off the Rack shirt.
Well,
so that was my first performance.
That's awesome.
I still have the photos, but it's in a locked album on my Facebook that is only viewable to my eyes.
I love it. Wow.
How about you, Amy?
My first performance was October 18th, 1999 in Washington, D.C. At Club 55 in Southeast. It was to RuPaul's Snapshot. I have it on VHS, buried somewhere in a basement. So, yeah.
Nice.
There is no video evidence of mine, thank goodness.
My first number was at Stallions in Harrisburg. I was a coach for Amateur Drag Race. And it was a female cover of Somebody to Love by Queen.
Oh.
That's right.
Yep.
Desi, was there a place called The Club in Martinsburg?
There was.
Okay.
There was, yes. We it is unfortunately closed now, but Chastity Vane and I were actually one of the show directors at that particular establishment. Nice establishment. Unfortunately, you know, things change, owners change, and things just don't happen to pan out right. But it was a gay bar that we had in our backyard, basically, and we were sad to see it close. But yes, it was.
question from the incredible Denny Hawks, also known as, well,
Jada Sparks.
Yeah, Jada Sparks, who put drag away to discover her authentic self, which kudos to you, girl.
Yes.
Yeah, fun fact, I took 2 years off before I returned to Miss Maryland this past year to discover myself. So it's absolutely needed sometimes.
That's so true. Speaking
Big
of
shout out to Stephanie Michaels, just tuned in as well.
Oh, fantastic.
We love Miss Michaels.
Legendary former Miss Maryland, Stephanie Michaels.
42 years of drag. That is 98 titles of drag.
Baby.
She laid the first brick at the bar at the lodge, and she paved the roads out front. That's how I announce her at every show.
She was driving the forklift, baby.
She sure was. She was driving it up.
Yep. Shout out to Stephanie Michaels.
Go ahead. I got to work with Stephanie twice now. Absolute fun loving gal.
Yeah.
Had such a great time. But we have reached the end of our time this evening. So I want to give everyone a chance to say goodnight to all of our guests, starting with Amethyst.
Absolutely. Desi, it has been a pleasure having you on our show tonight, and it's been a pleasure getting to know you closer. You know, I'm from the girl down the street around the corner, above the border, so to speak. So the fact that you welcome me into your family and into your own heart and your own personal life means the world to me. So I cannot wait to go to nationals with you. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful time. Winner of talent at Miss Maryland, by the way, as well. So let's not forget that she kicked my butt in talent. So kudos for that. It's going to be a journey, and it's going to be one that we are going to do together. This is not solely mine. This is ours. And I truly mean that. That's not some pageant bullshit talk. I truly mean that.
Yeah.
So onward and upward, and we are going to make waves at nationals, I believe, this year. So thank you. Thank you for your love and your light and your kindness.
Absolutely.
Jade, you know, it's nice to see you tonight, getting a night off and getting a night to relax, or so to speak.
Oh my God.
I know. You're a hard worker and you're dedicated to everything that you do, and that shows. So thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being on this crazy, wild vodcast, internet, WW web thing we're doing here. You know, the things. We're doing things.
We're doing great things.
And we're doing it together, which I love the most. So
same.
To our fans and our Patreon, thank you all for watching. To my former Miss Maryland sisters from 1985 to the current, thank you so much for tuning in tonight and for watching. It means the world that you're supporting myself and Desi as well. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And until next time, kids, I'll turn it over to Desi.
Yes. Well, first and foremost, I want to thank you and Jade for the invite to Inside the Drag Closet tonight. You know, like I said before, as much as you've said, I'm also very excited to take this journey with you. I'm so excited to see where Miss Maryland takes you this year. And I think that it's going to take it outside of bounds that it's never been before. And I'm super excited to see that progress and that growth within the Maryland system. So yes, nationals is going to be great. It's going to be fun. And we're going to have a great time. And Maryland's going to show up and show out as they always do.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm ready for that. And I am also so excited for the friendship that you and I will continue to have past this for years to come. And, you know, what I love about you is how humble you remain, no matter what the situation is. And so, you know, I tell people that all the time, and they're like, oh, you know, ask me about Amethyst. I'm like, she's humble. You will never hear her say a bad word about anybody. So I love that about you, and I'm super excited to see what this year brings you with this title. So thank you. And Jade, thank you. It was so nice to see you again. It's been a few years, and hopefully not too long till the next time, this time around. So again, I appreciate both of you for having me on your show tonight, and I'm super humbled to be asked to join it. And I just want to appreciate each and every one of you for all the questions and comments this evening. And just know Team Maryland's coming for the crown.
Desi, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was so good to reconnect with you. You're right. It has been far too long, and we need to fix that.
Yeah.
Ironically, I've been at the lodge once, and it was a night you weren't there. So we need to fix that sometime.
Yes.
And we need to get you up here to Harrisburg sometime soon. Yeah, definitely. Amethyst, like you said, this has been such a fun journey. We're going to keep it going. I do like being every other week. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, honey, we're busy. We're busy.
Oh, yeah. We're busy.
We're very busy.
For our next episode, I currently have not booked anyone yet, but I do have a goal, and I'm working on something interesting for the next episode. So I'm hoping this pans out the way I hope it does. To the comment that when do we get to see my husband in drag on the show, we'll make that happen at some point. Yeah. We'll bring Husky Varna back. She's my little chainsaw.
Oh my God.
Chainsaw.
Wow. To all of our followers and fans and Patreons, thank you for sticking by us with this. We appreciate you. We love you. We adore you. Please go out, support some local drag. Speaking of local drag, Divas Down Under is coming up very soon. So make sure you get your tickets for our Booyah Back to the 90s drag show with Poison, Jade DeVere, Kimora Vixen, Nevaeh Vixen, Aida Stratton, Amethyst Diamond, and Paula Frost from Out TV's season 4 of Camp Wanakiki. We will be performing at the Comedy Zone November 4th at 10:30 p.m. Get your tickets ahead of time. Don't wait until the last minute because you never know, they could be gone. Speaking of Camp Wanakiki, I do want to send a huge shout out to the winner of season 4 of Camp Wanakiki, Clinica to Precious, who is now the sovereign of camp. I love that they gave them a non-binary title. They came up with Sovereign of Camp, which I think is just amazing. So again, go out, support local drag, be safe, care for each other, love each other, lift each other up. And until we see you again, good night.
Good night.
Thank you for joining us on Inside the Drag Closet.